Welcome to Valencia and the group test, the official test for Formula E ahead of the new 2017-2018 season. We're here to wrap up what's happened over the course of the summer since we last saw you in Montreal and what's happened here on the first day of this test. And alongside me to do it is Sam Smith, editor of eRacing365.com. Check out all the news from Formula E online with his site. Sam, you're no Nicky Shields, which I'm normally doing this with, but you do know what's been going on behind the scenes, don't you, at pretty much most of these teams. So let's have a walk along pit lane, and starting here with the team's champion from last year, Renault Edams.
Yeah, it's been a busy year. They're running a parallel test team effectively for season 5, so they've had a bit of a compromise, a self-acknowledged compromise. They've got to really evolve their powertrain for season 4. So they've majored on certain aspects of it, particularly around the back of the car, which was extremely strong last season anyway.
Yeah.
But for season 5, they're having a massive push at the minute, a full factory effort on season 5.
So season 5, of course, is when everything changes. We get a new car, new batteries, one car per race. So there's a lot of focus on all of these teams got to be put on that. So I guess a lot of these teams are going to have to compromise in how they split their resources, aren't they? Same, I guess, with these guys.
Yeah, very much similar with Audi, although they've got a sea change in terms of their setup for this season. They're running a one-gear setup, similar to what Renault have done in the last couple of years.
Which is new for them, right?
Absolutely,
yeah.
They previously ran 3.
Yeah.
So they've got a new gearbox casing, a carbon casing as well. So compared to Renault, complete change for Audi this year.
And it looks like, when you see the package that these guys have put together, it's very slim, it looks, and they say it's very lightweight. They've got a new team principal in Alan McNeish, you can see over in the background over there being interviewed. I think they're moving in the right direction, and they've got the massive resource that Audi can provide, which is absolutely going to make a difference for them, isn't it?
Huge resource, and they've got, like you said, Alan has joined as team principal. It's going to be really interesting to see how he liaises with the FIA and also liaises with Formula E.
Yeah.
But they've got a lot of continuity in their engineering team as well.
Yeah, I mean, lots went very well for them last year. Lucas, of course, claimed that championship, that elusive championship. So lots to build on, but I think there are lots of things happening in the right way behind the scenes that should give them a real opportunity this year. And today, in fact, also, they look like a very strong team. That car looks very stable under braking down here into the chicane. I was watching it earlier. It looks like a neat package, that one. These guys here at Mahindra, of course, finished last year very, very strongly, didn't they? So what do? Do they evolve what they had, or do they come in with something brand new?
I think there's a certain amount of evolution in what they've got. They really understood the tyres last year. They were the team that made more advancement in these quirky Michelin tyres compared to others. And with Rosenqvist and Heidfeld being retained, I think they, pound for pound, have probably got the strongest driver lineup this season.
Yeah, I agree. I think they did a lot of things right, and I think, you know, I spoke to Dilbag Gill, team principal, earlier. I said, is it an evolution? He said, it's an evolution with a capital E. So they have changed a bit, but they've got a good basis to build from. Likewise, I guess, Virgin Racing next door, they finished last season again pretty strongly. One of the most improved teams, I guess, over the course of the season. A new driver as well this year.
They've always been there or thereabouts. They've replaced Jose Maria Lopez with Alex Lynn. I mean, Alex did a superb job by getting pole position last season. I think they've got, again, a supremely strong team. The big question I would have with these guys is what they do in season 5, because the hot rumour is that Techeetah are going to have the DS Performance deal, so we'll have to see how that pans out.
Yeah, very, very difficult, that one, isn't it? Because how do they go developing if they are going to, you know, part ways at the end of next year? That's right. Techeetah won in Montreal. They finally got their race win, didn't they, with Jean-Eric Vergne? Again, a few changes behind the scenes. Are we expecting them to go one step further this year and challenge for the title, do you think?
Yes, I'd be disappointed if they didn't. They've got such a strong team. Lotterer, you know, one of the best sports car drivers of his generation for sure. They've got some continuity again. It's the second season of that incarnation of the team. I think they could be real contenders this season. So
Andre Lotterer, yeah, coming into the team as a partner with Jean-Eric Vergne at the expense of Stéphane Sarrazin. Did you expect that?
Honestly, yes. I think Stéphane's got other things, another step in his career. He's got his own team now in sports cars.
Yeah.
He's still part of the Toyota setup as well. He served his time in Formula E. He was, on occasion, supremely quick and a great development driver as well. But the new generation is coming on board now.
Yeah, no, good. Next EV, now these guys have had a full rebrand. Again, a driver change within that team. Nelson Piquet's left, hasn't he? They had a very difficult car for the last 2 seasons. What do you make of what we've seen today? They topped the timesheets, didn't they, with Oliver Turvey at the end of the day. To me, they look quick over one lap. Are they going to be quick over a race distance? Because that's been their Achilles heel.
That's the big question.
Yeah.
You know, I think if they can get the efficiency out of their powertrain, they've got the drivers, Oliver Turvey, they've got a new boy in Luca Filippi,
Yeah.
which is a surprise to many people here
Where's
today.
he come from?
Well, he's got GP2 experience. He did many
Okay.
seasons in GP2, was a runner-up in that really competitive formula, and then he went to Champ Car and scored a podium for Dale Coyne in one of the lesser teams in Champ Car, in IndyCar, I should say. So, you know, they've got on paper a really good team. And I think Turvey still, I don't know how, but still is one of the underrated drivers in the championship.
I think everybody says it. Andretti, MS Amlin Andretti. Now, these guys, again, had a very difficult year. Efficiency was poor. They made some operational errors. Full rebrand again, and bright green cars, different colours this year. And again, we still haven't actually got the full driver lineup here. They're testing 2 different guys today, or 3 different guys if you include Antonio Felix da Costa, who we expect to stay. Where do you think that driver decision is going to go?
Well, they're keeping their powder dry, and actually it's complex. BMW are coming on board as the factory team in season 5. They want to insert a complete BMW driver lineup. Tom Blomqvist, Alexander Sims. If I were to take a guess on some information I've had in the last few weeks, I would say that they will split it, and that Tom could do the first half of the season, and then go and do DTM next season for BMW.
Yeah.
And then Alexander Sims, who's tested for the last 18 months or so for the team, will come in for the second half.
And that's BMW hedging their bets ahead of their season 5 full-blown entry, yeah.
I would say so, yeah.
Now, another team that's still hedging their bets, I guess, Dragon. Now here, we're seeing drivers being placed, or potentially being placed here from Porsche, a season 6 entrant in Formula E.
Yeah.
That's quite an interesting dynamic to me. We've also seen other personnel behind the scenes from Porsche potentially coming in here to help.
Yeah, we've seen
Really
some.
looking ahead, aren't they?
We've seen some well-known Porsche faces in there today.
Yeah.
We think that there's a bit more to what we're hearing initially. And Neil Jarney, again, I think will be a superb addition to that squad. Jerome D'Ambrosio and Loic obviously had their run-ins last season and the season before. You know, Neil's got the capacity, I think, to be a real challenger for podiums, which is where Dragon were in the first and second season.
Yeah, and they should be moving up. And likewise, I guess, Venturi, again, a difficult season, never really maximised their potential, did they? So they've got to be looking for massive improvements this year.
They're the real enigma of Formula E. On occasion, they're absolutely superb. They've got a really good engineering team there. ZF are coming on strong. They're going to do the gearbox in the car, and they did some suspension work there last year. I think driver-wise, Mortara, I think, is the favourite there, although Rossiter did a good job today. So we'll have to wait and see. They've got till the 20th of October to make that decision formal.
That's when it's got to be lodged with the FIA.
Exactly.
Okay. Right, final team in the pit lane then, Jaguar Racing, potentially the team that has the biggest scope for improvement, because their first year last year was a disappointment on one hand, but also a massive learning curve. How do we expect them to fare in season 4?
I expect them to be challenging for podiums by the end of the season. It sounds quite strong from where they were last season, but there is no reason why they shouldn't. They've got Nelson Piquet now, season 1, the inaugural champion. So I think, to be honest, I think they'd be disappointed if they were any lower than 5th at the end of the season. Yeah,
the car looks much improved, much more efficient, much tighter and lighter package towards the rear end of that car, which was one of their biggest problems last year, and also efficiency, they say, is much improved. So again, I think they're going to be catapulting up. They seem like a much happier team just through today and the mileage they've done here. I just want to finish by looking at the tyres. This is the Michelin garage. Have a look over here, Nick. These things here, I think, are going to be one of the key deciding factors this year. I think it was to an extent last year. Teams like Mahindra really got their heads around how to switch them on, how to use them. And lots of teams didn't, because they were focusing so much more on powertrain. If you can get those things to work this year, I think you're in really good shape.
They're so sensitive, so quirky, as I said before, that some of the teams now and drivers just simply don't understand how the temperature window works with these tyres. So still a lot of work to do, but I'm hearing about some breakthroughs during pre-season testing, so private testing anyway, so we'll have to see.
Good. Well, that's it for day 1 here in Valencia. 2 more days of this group test to go, and then everything gets packed up and shipped off to Hong Kong for the very first race of season 4. 2nd and 3rd of December is when it's happening. Hope you'll be joining us. If you like what we do here, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks to you for watching. Thanks to you, Sam, as well.
Pleasure.
For weekly Formula E videos, click subscribe on the left-hand side. To watch the next one, click the icon in the centre, and remember to hit the like button and leave your comments down below.